So for today's project, of course, you're going to need your mug. We are going to need transfer tape. You're going to need your sign vinyl, which here we have the Oracle 651. You're going to need a scraper for this project. You're going to need either a silicone brush or a nylon brush. Rubbing alcohol, that is going to be great for cleaning off this mug to make sure there's no debris or dust. Now I'm going to talk about the few different options that we have for your sealing process. So right here we have the Mod Podge, which is a dishwasher safe Mod Podge. And you could use this product. It does take 28 days to cure. Actually, all of them take 28 days to cure realistically if you want it to be dishwasher safe. Then we have polyacrylic. This is another product which is actually cheaper than the Mod Podge if you're looking for something quick just to seal. But of course, this is a chemical, so if you want to seal with the polyacrylic, I would suggest just not going around the mouth area because this has not been FDA approved. Whenever you are doing images on your mugs, which I will do another video showing you how to create an image and put it on a mug, you will use what is called water slide deco. And whenever you are using an image with the water slide deco, you're sealing the image so that it doesn't run whenever you apply the water on top. So that's what this crystal clear is used for. So now let's get ready to cut out our design and put this thing together. Opening up Silhouette Studio. And we're going to upload our image for today's project. I think this mug is so cute. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to be selling this, but I also want to show you how you can trace an image in order to make your creation. But again, I wouldn't suggest this if you plan on selling it just because of copyright issues. So if you were to make this design, I would actually recreate it. Go find a font similar to this one and create your design that way. So in order for us to trace this image, we are going to select on our trace panel. Then we're going to click select trace area. Okay. And then you're just going to drag your cursor over the image text that we're going to be using. So as you can see here, it didn't pick up the outline of the F. So in order for us to try to get a better trace, we can turn our threshold up. So we're going to just drag our threshold button to the right. And as you can see, it's kind of filling it in. You don't want to do it too much because it can distort your image. Let's see, it's picking up other stuff over there. So I think, let me see. We're going to see what this looks like. All right, and to trace that image, we're going to click trace. Then we'll move that over. Oops, sorry. We'll drag our image. So this isn't too bad, but again, in most cases, I just normally go look for a font similar to this one and I'll recreate it. So just checking to make sure everything is okay. Now to get rid of this little situation in the corner that it picked up from our tracing, we can click the erase tool. Boom. Processes it and it's gone. So actually, we are going to select Friday. We're going to right click and group it. And I really want to actually get, like, I'm going to make this all gold, but I want to get like an outline of the teal, if you get what I'm saying. So that how it's outlined here on Friday, around the words Friday, I want to do the same thing up here. So I'm going to drag my mouse over the entire text. And I'm actually going to group it first, then we'll select over it again, and we'll go to this the star panel, which is offset, and offset is just going to create that illusion around it. Now you see here, I'm going to zoom in. Alright, you want to make sure that your words aren't cutting into each other. So I actually like that the way it is. And I'm going to click off my screen. Then I'll click on the design I just created with the offset panel. And I'm going to right click, ungroup. Now, what we want to capture here is the background, which is the offset line we created. And I'm actually going to change that fill color. We'll look right here. Let me see. Yeah, it captured the whole thing. Okay. I just want you to get the gist of it, but you'll see it once we have the final product. So you're going to need a rolling measuring tape. This works best for this type of project because you can actually curve around a rounded surface. So now we're going to measure to see what size our design should be for this mug. So we want our mug to start close to the handle, but not that close. So I'll just start my starting point close to the handle, and I think 3 would be perfect for this design. And then that's going to be your width. So 3 is your width. Our height is going to be comfortably, you can go to at least a 3.5 or. So let's get to cutting out the design of this mug. We're going to select over our design. Our width is going to be a 3 and our height is going to be 3.5. Let me see what that looks like. Whoa! See what just happened? Okay. So we need to create a compound path because it didn't pick up all of the dimensions. So it's good you're actually seeing this. Bloopers! Alright, now we're going to create a compound path. Okay. It did take away the gold color, which is fine. Again, it's white, which is actually the same thing as if it were to be gold, so you can just see what it's going to look like. So I'm actually perfectly okay with that, just so we can get through this process. Now we're going to change the width to a 3 and the height to a 3.5. And there you go. With sign vinyl, you do not flip the image. So what we're going to do is select the design we just created. We're going to right click and click copy, and then we're going to right click again, and then we're going to click paste, and then we're going to move that over to the side just in case we mess up while we're working on this one. So now we're ready to cut out our design, and we're going to actually click on the design, right click, release compound path, but we're going to remove the back layer. Okay, cool. So now we're going to click in the background, I'm hoping. Awesome. Pull that out. With Friday, pull it out. The word to, pull it out. Again, it doesn't matter where you put it in the moment. We're actually going to just line the words up next to each other so that we can save our vinyl. Okay, that is imperative when you are running your business. You want to make sure you are saving your vinyl. We're going to click on Alexa in the background. Okay, then we're going to right click. That was too funny. Make compound path. All right, so now we are ready to cut our image out. Doesn't matter which color you do first. Now I'm going to move all of our teal text over. And again, this is all going to be gold. So just so you're not confused, boom, we're changing it to gold. And just going to align it not too close to our parameter, but close enough to where, again, we can save some of this good old vinyl, honey. Now we are ready to go to our send panel. Of course, make sure your machine is on so it can connect. Okay, so we're ready to cut out our design. We're going to take our mouse and drag over our design. Same process. We're going to make sure it says cut. And we're going to have to change our material here. So we're going to go down to vinyl, and we're going to select Silhouette Oracle 651. Wait for it to do its thing. I think it changed everything already. I'm actually going to move my design down a little bit. I don't know when it moved up, but whatever. So now I feel like it's in a good place. Now, for the sign vinyl, I up my blade to a 2. It just works best because sometimes you can see that when you're cutting out sign vinyl, some of the letters come up. And I don't have time to sit here and pick each letter out and make sure it stays on the sheet. So I feel like upping my blade depth to a 2 helps that to not happen. So now we're ready to click send as is. All right, so you're gonna grab your scissors. Forgot to add this into your supplies. So just pretend like we added that in there. All right, so the first thing we're gonna cut out in this project will be the gold. I already have it set up on the computer. So we're gonna lay our gold vinyl down with the shiny side facing up, because again, we're not flipping the image when it comes to sign vinyl. All right, now I'm gonna just cut it off. I know there's gonna be a lot of excess, but again, I like to be safe than sorry. So we're just gonna cut that off. Okay, move our vinyl to the side. Press it down, make sure there's no bubbles. Then we're going to load our cutting mat into our cutting machine. Now we are ready to do our teal color, and we are just going to place, I forgot this one was separated, so I don't want to go too far over. And then we're going to put Alexa over here, and we'll just slap the 2 and, the 2 and skip here. So now that all of our teal design is on our cutting mat, I want to select it, make sure it says cut. Our settings for our material are already set, still on a blade depth of 2, and we are ready to go. So we'll press send. Okay, so our design has been cut, and now we can release our cutting mat by pressing our arrow down button this way. And then we're going to just take this vinyl off. So we're going to start from the corner. We're going to pull back ever so delicately. Oh, beautiful. Gotta be careful. I can't say Alexa too loud because there's an Alexa upstairs. So every time I say Alexa, she keeps catching on to me. So you have to be quiet. Alright. So now we're ready to get out our transfer tape. We're not going to need much for this because again, we're all about saving our vinyl and our tape because this stuff can be expensive. So I'm going to, it's a little harder to cut though. Alright, so you'll see the frosted side of your transfer tape. That can be facing the floor and the sticky side facing up. And so what we're going to do is we're going to place our design not too close to the top because we want to make sure we can get the transfer tape on it all. Or you can reverse it and just lay it down, but I'd rather do it this way. So now I'm going to place it on here. I'm going to smooth it out.
Now, the other one's on here. Okay. Hey, you have not listened to Jasmine Sullivan's most recent EP, honey? Yes, this was given life. Okay? And then I heard that's not even her complete album. Sis, you gonna just give me 14 songs of life and then that's it? Oh my god.
Anywho, so now you're going to take your scraper and you're going to scrape the back. Now if you want to cut the excess transfer tape off, you can. And this does take a little elbow grease, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. That's why you make sure you charge what you're worth, okay? Your labor, the time it takes to make this. Alright, so let's see if it's ready to be peeled onto our transfer tape. So now you're just going to peel your Oracle paper. So you'll know which is Oracle paper because it has the lines on the back. And some other brands actually have holes on the sides. So that's how you can determine what is signed vinyl and what is HTV. So now we're going to peel it off. And there you go. We have one piece done. I usually save at least one of the backings for smoothing purposes, but you'll see what I'm referring to once I get there. Alright, now we'll just keep going. Pick up your feeling. Okay, so you gotta pick up your feeling. You better. Okay. Woo. Alexa skipped a Friday. Now we're ready, guys.
What would you like to play next?
Thank you, Alexa. Okay. So we're gonna grab our.
Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Alexa. She be talking to me. All right, so let's lay this down because I am running out of space already. So let's get it going. Sorry, I'm gonna try to move a little faster here. Just talking to y'all on the camera. So we're just making our cut lines so that we can place our design on our mug. And when y'all are working with different projects, please don't mix your scissors with like between paper and fabric, because that will make your scissors dull. I'm gonna lay this first, then show you all, because this is going to be so you got to make sure you press it down. So you're actually learning a lot in one tutorial. You're actually learning how to create a mug with sign vinyl and layers. So who doesn't like 2-for-1 tips? Isn't that beautiful, guys? Yes, honey. I love to see it. Now we're gonna lay skip down. Start from one end to the other. Don't just lay it down. Then we're going to smooth it out. Yeah. I'm gonna go over it a few times because I'm just that weird about it. I'm like, oh no, please. Woo. Okay, I think we're good. Look, guys, what are you thinking? You like it? You love it? All right, I'm gonna cut it here. I like to shake it up, shake it up, and shake it up. Make sure you read the directions on the back. This, we're going to apply one coat, and then we're going to let it sit for an hour or two. And then we're going to apply at least 2 to 3 coats all together, okay? So this is the more tedious process. Alright. I'm going to actually just use what's on the top of there. Make sure your brush is clean. Okay, I'm gonna rub off because I don't want too much excess. And then this is gonna dry clear, so no worries. And you're just going to make an even layer. You don't have to actually go over the entire mug, but you will notice the streak lines if you're using a brush. So I will suggest that you just go across the whole thing. Choking on my spit. So make your smoothing it out. There's no like Mod Podge just sitting there. If you go up and down, that's fine. You won't see it once it completely dries. So I'm going to do that in like time lapse this part. Layer. Okay, and we're going to let that sit for about 1 to 2 hours, and then we'll come back and we will apply another coat. I'm actually going to clean off my silicone brush before I apply another coating. Alright, so we'll be back to show our finished result.